Hello, dear children. Hope you all are fine and taking good care of yourselves. Now, and I also hope that all of you are going through these online modules, learning a lot, revising them regularly, as well as attempting the exercises which are attached to these exercises. Okay, now if you remember in my previous module, I've taught you about nouns and their types. And I've given you three exercises which you must have tried to attempt, and now I have brought the answers for those exercises. First of all, go through the exercises, then we will come to today's topic. Okay, so the first exercise on nouns was on abstract nouns. So just go through the answers, check the correct spellings. If you found your answer wrong, please write down the correct answer. Let's go to the next exercise, where you were supposed to find out the collective nouns of the given group. So these are the answers. Please check in your exercises. Next comes so here are the answers for the third exercise. You had to mention whether the underlined nouns are countable or uncountable. Check your answers. Okay, now we'll come to today's topic. Today I've decided to take a writing skill topic for you because this is the part of the paper where most of the children have to work a lot. Writing skills need a lot of practice, lot of hard work, and a lot of reading. Okay, so if you have a good reading habit, you'll be able to write also well. So during these holidays, make sure that you develop the habit of reading, especially work on the content level of your writing skills. So one of the writing skills which is there in your course in PT1 is dialogue writing. Now, in this module, I have dealing with some subtopics which are, first of all, I'll be telling you what is a dialogue. Then, why is dialogue writing so important? Then we'll be discussing the characteristics of a good dialogue. After that, we'll work upon right pattern of writing dialogues, which will be followed by sample questions and exercises. First topic is, what is a dialogue? Now, a dialogue is when characters speak or communicate. Now, in any writing skill, like for example, a story or drama, play, you have some characters and those characters communicate with each other. Whatever they are communicating is a dialogue. They are speaking. Basically, the word dialogue is formed of two words which are die, which means two, and log, which means speech. So a dialogue is a conversation or set of words spoken between two or more characters. Now, it is a literary technique in which writers employ two or more characters to be engaged in conversation with each other. It makes literary work enjoyable and lively. So I hope it's clear that what is a dialogue? Any kind of conversation between two or more characters. Basically, it is two characters is called a dialogue. Okay, now the question arises that why is dialogue writing so important? Can you imagine reading a story without any character speaking to another character? Or any play where you have just the author narrating the whole incident and no conversation going on? It will look very dull and boring, and I'm sure you won't like to continue reading it further. So dialogues are really very, very integral part of any writing skill. Okay. Now, what are its importance? Dialogue writing exposes the traits of a character, his emotions, his internal motives, and at the same time, it establishes the relationship between the people. It also shows the action taking place without boring the reader with lot of explanation. as I've told you. If there'll be only one person or the narrator speaking, it will become really dull and boring. And as the characters speak to each other, we are able to understand the basic nature, attitude, emotions of the characters, as well as it helps us to understand the relationship between various characters of the story. Next is it helps to move the storyline forward. Yes, this is very, very important. With the help of dialogue, we're able to see the progress of the story. The story is moving ahead. Moreover, dialogue makes a literary piece interesting and alive and gives enjoyable experience to the readers. We'll enjoy, we'll have thrill in reading a writing piece only if it has dialogues in it. Thank you. Okay. It is very important to have dialogues in any literary piece. And for this, we have to keep in mind the characteristics of a good dialogue. Let me tell you those points. First, very important point is a dialogue must be written in reference to the given situation. First of all, clearly understand the situation on the basis of which the dialogue is to be written and then begin writing. Next point is dialogue must be written in very simple and direct language. Please avoid using bombarding language. Keep your dialogue as light as possible and avoid unnecessary details. Third point is dialogues should be lifelike. Real words of people in a real situation should be used. Keep it concise, keep it short and relevant so that it sounds natural and interesting. Like, for example, you can have a situation of a teacher talking to a student who came late to class, or a doctor talking to his patient, or two ladies discussing about the price rise of the vegetables. So please understand what they must be talking in the real situation and then keep your dialogue restricted to that real situation. Next, the fourth point is a dialogue should have a proper start and a proper ending. You should start your dialogue right by greeting each other. Like, for example, the first character may greet the second one by saying good morning or good evening. Then, how are you? It's been long since we met. Where were you these days? So, like this, give a proper beginning to your dialogue. Then there should be proper middle and a proper ending. Like we can end our dialogue by saying that it was nice to meet you, see you again, take care of yourselves, and so on. So try to keep the dialogue very catchy and engaging. Okay, the fifth point is punctuation marks play a very vital role in writing dialogues. Yes, punctuation marks are very, very important while writing dialogues. Punctuation marks like question mark, exclamatory mark, commas, etc. should be used to make our dialogue effective. Now, it is also said that half of the talking is done by punctuation marks. So, while a person reads a dialogue, he'll be able to understand the real meaning or real style of the dialogue only by having a look at the punctuation mark. Like, for example, what a pleasant day it is. Put an exclamatory mark after it. So the reader will read it in that tone only. If it's a question, where were you these days? Put a question mark. So the reader understands that it's a question being asked. Okay, next important point is make use of contractions such as don't, shouldn't, can't, and interjection words like oh, alas, wow, hooray, etc., to make the dialogue seem natural and conversational. In our daily life, also, while we are talking to each other, we use many contractions and expressions of surprise and excitement. So, please write these punctuations, these interjections, and contractions while writing your dialogues. This will help you to fetch more marks, and it will make your dialogue very natural. Next very important point is avoid using any kind of slang or abusive language in your dialogue, please. Now, dialogue could be both formal as well as informal, depending on the relationship between the two characters. For example, there can be a conversation between two friends on any topic, on any issue, maybe their favorite game, importance of exercise, about any subject, about their preparation for the exam. There can be a conversation between a father and a son, a teacher and a student, a boss and an employee, a student and the principal, and so on. So, depending on the two characters, we have to frame proper dialogue in a real life situation. Now, the next thing which comes in your mind must be that how to write or how to present a dialogue. What could be the right format or right pattern of writing a dialogue? Now, in dialogue, we always have two characters. First of all, try to use simple and very easy names for your characters. Second, when writing a dialogue, use a colon after the name of the character and then write the spoken line spoken by that character. Another thing is that every time a different character speaks, write a dialogue on a fresh line. Name should come below the name and colon should come below the colon. I'll show you with an example how it is written. A proper presentation is very important while writing a dialogue. Now include the actions, feelings or expressions in bracket. Suppose you are writing a dialogue and you say that suppose Ram, he says something in very angry mood. So you'll put in bracket in anger and then you'll write, where were you for so long? Okay, so when the reader will read that in bracket it's written in anger, he will have an idea, okay, these words were written while the character was in very angry mood. So feelings and expressions are written in brackets. This all the characters should have a fair share of words to speak. Make sure that the conversation is not dominated by any one character. This is really very important point which have to be kept in mind, because sometimes what happen, as we have seen the students writing in exams, one person is speaking and the second one is simply answering in yes or no. No, that will be the wrong way of writing. Make sure that both the characters speak properly, they have proper words to be spoken, and both the characters get proper chance to speak. Last but not the least, the most important point, the presentation should be beautiful, properly arranged, and neatly presented. Here I have a sample question for you. It's a dialogue between a shopkeeper and a customer who has come to buy a pair of shoes. First of all, have a look at the style and the pattern, the way the dialogue is written. The first speaker's name is there, then there is a colon, and after the colon, whatever that person is speaking is written. Then, when the second character speaks, his or her name comes in the second line, and then the colon, and then whatever that person speaks. The name of the speaker comes below the another speaker, and the colon comes below the colon. Then note down the punctuation marks, the way they are used. Exclamatory mark, question mark, so this. These will help the character to understand what the speaker is saying and in what mood. So let me read this example for you. Shopkeeper, can I help you? Customer, yes, please. I want some sports shoes. Shopkeeper, with lace or slip-on? Customer, with laces, please. Shopkeeper, what size? Customer, 10 I think, but would you measure my foot? Shopkeeper. Certainly. Yes, it is 10. Then how about these? Customer. Well, they feel a bit tight here. Can I try a different pair of shoes? Shopkeeper. Of course. Try these. Customer. They are a better fit, but I don't like the color. They are too shiny. Have you got them in some other color? Shopkeeper. Yes, we do. We have white, brown, grey, and red. Customer. Could I try on the white pair, please? Shopkeeper. One moment. I'll grab the white one for you. There you go. Customer. Thank you. I like white better and they fit nicely. I'll take them. Shopkeeper. Certainly. Anything else? Customer. No, that's all. How much are they? Shopkeeper. It comes to rupees 2000 only. Would you like to pay by cash or card? Customer. Card, please. Shopkeeper. No problem. Here's your receipt. Thank you and please come again. Customer. Thank you. So this is a sample of a dialogue writing. Now just notice one more thing, that if a dialogue is a bit lengthy and if it is not coming in the next line, then if you're carrying it to the next line, make sure it is written after the colons, not before the colons. So I hope this example is clear. Now you can have an exam, a question like this, where a situation is given to you along with the characters and you have to write a dialogue for them. Now another kind of question is, now you can have another type of question in dialogue writing in which a dialogue would be given to you with some gaps or blanks. You have to fill up the blanks to complete the dialogue. I have an example for you. Here, two friends, Rohit and Anuj, who met after few years, are talking to each other. We have to complete this dialogue. Okay, so Rohit says, "Hello Anuj, how are you?" Anuj says, "Fine, what a pleasant surprise." Now see, notice the way they are starting the conversation by wishing each other, greeting each other, then they are expressing their surprise for meeting after so long. Next, Rohit, "It's a long time since we met. Where dash all these days?" So Rohit is asking something to Anuj, but what could be his question? We won't be able to understand until we read the reply of Anuj. Anuj says, "In Mumbai." So now when we get an idea that what is the answer, we can guess the question. So here Rohit would have asked that, "Where have you been all these days?" And also make sure that you use the correct tense when you fill up these blanks. If they are talking in the present tense, you have to use a present tense. If they are talking about the past, use past tense. And if they are talking about their future plans, we have to use future tense. So tenses also plays a very, very important role while writing a dialogue. So we have got the answer for the first blank. "It's long time since we met. Where have you been all these days?" So Anuj replies, "In Mumbai." "How about you? Tell me, dash nowadays." So now Anuj wants to know something, but what it could be? Let's read the answer or reply of Rohit. Rohit says, "I am an accountant in a private firm here." So we must be asking about his job or what is he doing. So here the answer could be, "Tell me, what are you doing nowadays?" And Rohit replies, "I am an accountant in a private firm here." Then he continues, "Last time I saw you, you were a student." Then there's a full stop. Again he asks something. There's a blank. "Your MCom degree?" He wants to know something about his MCom degree, but what? So for that we have to know the answer. So Anuj says, "In 2015. Okay, so he must be asking about at the time when he completed his MCOM degree. So here the answer could be, or the question could be of Rohit, when did you complete your MCOM degree? So Anuj replies, in 2015. I came here to take up a new job with Air India. I am the new administrative officer. Rohit, that's good news. Then again, Rohit has some query. So he says, when, but what is he asking? So we have to look at the reply. Anuj is answering, I have to report at 11 a.m. today. So have you guessed what could be the answer, question of Rohit? Yes, Rohit must have asked that what have you to report to your office? Sorry, when have you to report to your office? He's asking about the time. So he says, he asks that when you have to report to your office. So Anuj says, I have to report at 11 a.m. today. I don't know the Air India office. Then again he is asking something dash, where is it? So Rohit says, certainly, it's very near to my office. So what he would have asked? He must have asked that, do you know where it is? So Rohit says, certainly, it's very near to my office. Let me. What could be the answer? Just guess. Maybe he's saying that, let me give you the lift or let me drop you to your workplace. So now are you able to understand how to attempt this kind of question? Please, the more you practice, the more you'll be able to get thorough with it and you can score very good marks. Now I have some homework questions for you. Okay, before that, please go through the answers of the exercise which we have just discussed. Okay, now I have some practice questions for you. Here in this question, we have two friends discussing about their plans for the weekend. They are Vimal and Vijay. You have to complete the dialogue. Two more questions for you. Question number two. Write a suitable and interesting conversation between a patient and a doctor. Let each character speak at least 5 times. Then question number three. Write a suitable dialogue between the salesman and Mr. Kumar, who wants to buy a second-hand car. Do attempt these questions in your English notebook. And the answer for question number one, I'll be discussing in the next module. And for question two and question three, we'll check your answers when we'll meet in classroom. Okay, with this, we come to an end of this module. I hope you enjoyed the class and I hope dialogue writing is clear to you. So now you must have understood that dialogue writing is a fun activity which involves some techniques and methodology. If you want to score good marks, follow these certain rules and regulations and patterns and write a very good dialogue. So see you then. Have a nice day. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching.